Hi everyone, Felix here. Would you like to join us here at Camp Myth? Show us how you're enjoying the story so far, and our favourite entry will entitle the winner to join Moxie, Argy and me, Felix, in a future Camp Myth story. Any type of entry is fine. Drawings, stories, poems, photographs. How about a video of you singing Centaur Races? Submit them by December the 31st of this year, 2013, to campmyth@castofwonders.org. Hope to see you.
This is Cast of Wonders, the young adult fiction podcast featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome to Camp Myth. Chapter 11, December 4th, 2013. Welcome back, campers. Are you ready for Chapter 11? Last week, we met Asterion, the founder of Camp Myth, and took the Camper Pledge. It sounds like the opening ceremony is drawing to a close. I wonder what Felix, Argy, and Moxie will be doing next. Now, where were we? Ah, yes.
Camp Myth, Phoenix Watching, by Chris Lewis Carter. Chapter 11. While most all of the other campers decided to hang out around the banquet, Moxie, Argy and I decided to head back to the cabins and get a jump start on planning for our first merit badge attempt. We stopped by my cabin first, but the Fae in the bunk next to mine was still beside himself with grief, and his constant sobbing made it impossible to think. Argy's cabin was next along our route, and even though I wasn't crazy about the idea of heading to a place where you could get roughed up for changing buses, Argy assured us that we'd be fine. Apparently, it was dishonourable for a Cyclops to fight anything considered to be a lesser creature.
Don't be offended,
he told us.
That basically means everyone except other Cyclops.
It didn't matter though. All of the other males had organised a weightlifting competition for after the banquet, so the entire place was deserted. Not only that, but the room was still completely trashed from earlier, and the dozens of tossed mattresses made it easy to build a really neat fort. Moxie acted like she was too cool to take part at first, but I could tell she was excited to try it out. She sat cross-legged on the floor between the bunks, with two mattresses forming a leaning triangle above her head, and was examining the different parts of her new Myth Army knife.
Hey, I think this piece is some kind of camera,
she said, holding it closer to one of the flashlights we'd found to illuminate the fort. A few seconds later, she was projecting a picture of that same flashlight against a wall of blankets.
Yep, definitely.
She flipped open the next attachment, which was a small empty tube.
This looks like, a straw? No, that's dumb. Maybe something goes inside. I'm not sure.
Why don't you just wait until the training seminar tomorrow?
Argy suggested.
I like figuring things out on my own,
she replied.
I didn't even read the pamphlet that came with my MP3 player. I'm a total rebel.
I opened my copy of the training handbook and flipped to the section about merit badges. The next several pages were covered with pictures of the various badges, along with the requirements for earning each of them. Yeesh, there must be over 100 in here, I said. Check this one out. Labyrinth navigating. Requirement: successfully navigate to the centre of the Minotaur labyrinth in less than 7 days. Seriously?
That can't be right. Let me see.
Argy opened his own copy of the handbook and read silently for a few seconds.
Wow. Okay. So maybe we won't go for that one right away.
He turned to the next page.
Kraken fishing. Requirement: catch and release a kraken. Note, the creature must be over 12 feet long from crown to tentacle. What the?
Kirin riding, I added. Requirement: attain a height of over 200 feet while on a Kirin. Note, you will be disqualified if you're thrown from the Kirin more than 3 times while flying. Argy shivered.
After today, I'm in no hurry to get back in the air. I'm still considering walking home from camp. Let's see, how about hey, what's a catoblepas?
Body of a buffalo, head of a boar, and its breath can turn you to stone.
Moxie replied, her own copy of the handbook now propped open in her lap.
Charming little fellas.
Oh, in that case, I really don't think we should try taming one.
Argy tossed his handbook to the floor and leaned back against a bunk.
All of these sound impossible,
he moaned, rubbing his eye.
Isn't there anything we can do that doesn't involve the possibility of being seriously hurt?
What about mandrake gardening?
Moxie offered.
If we mess that up, at least we'd only go deaf.
Hey, hold on a sec, I said, after thumbing to the back of the list. I think I've got it. How about phoenix watching? Requirement, provide visual proof of a phoenix living in the forgotten forest. It's perfect. Argy snorted.
Yeah, real perfect. All we have to do is track down a bird that can turn us to ashes if we get too close. Sounds like a cakewalk.
You didn't let me finish, I said. Note, as they can be extremely volatile creatures, all phoenixes located around Camp Myth are certified by Mythic Youth Training Handlers to ensure their inferno feathers have been removed, making them unable to produce dangerous levels of heat. I clapped the book shut and grinned. They're completely harmless. Moxie, you just figured out how to take pictures with our Myth Army knives, right? Well, this will be just like snapping a photo of an overgrown chicken. She flipped her handbook to the bestiary section, then recited,
Description. The phoenix is not immortal, as some believe. Although capable of rising from its own ashes, the bird must die of natural causes in order to be reborn anew. On its own, a single adult inferno feather can burn for over an hour with a dazzling white intensity.
Hey, I didn't know that.
Argy said.
I guess you learn something new every day.
Behaviour. Phoenixes are solitary creatures and can spend up to 12 hours per day sleeping in their nests to conserve energy. The bird is most active just after sunrise, where it will spend the morning hours feeding and gathering suitable rocks to construct its nest. See, nothing to it. I gave Argy's knee a playful shove. At that hour, our biggest danger will be morning breath. Argy scratched his head, clearly trying to think of a reason why it was a bad idea, but all he could manage was,
Well, I guess that sounds safe enough.
Safer than anything else, at least.
Moxie agreed.
So it's settled then. We'll meet at sunrise tomorrow at the entrance to the forest hiking trails.
Great, I said. An early morning hike, a quick photo shoot, and we'll be back to the mess hall before the rest of the camp's finished breakfast. It's basically a perfect plan.
This week's camper spotlight is Nashus, the Cyclopean sharpshooter. Felix says, Ugh, Nashus won't stop talking about his basilisk encounter in the Forgotten Forest. I'm not sure how much of the story I believe, but I'm not crazy enough to tell him that. Instead, I drew him this picture in honor of his triumphant victory. No, that was sarcasm. Nashus was invented by Nathan Pettigrew. You can find the picture of her on the Camp Myth webpage. Cast of Wonders could use your help. We sure love bringing you these free stories week after week, but we can't do it without you. Please consider donating at castofwonders.org, where you'll find buttons for regular and one-time donations via PayPal. Or you can help spread the word about our Camp Myth project and our weekly stories by blogging or tweeting about us. Write us a review on iTunes or like our Facebook page. There's lots of ways you can show your love for our tales of the fantastic. Camp Myth Phoenix Watching is a Cast of Wonders production, brought to you by Wolfsbane Publishing and the voice talents of Kate Baker, Adam Black, Tina Connolly, Graham Dunlop, Christiana Ellis, Marguerite Kenner, Alethea Contis, Alistair Stewart, Ian Stewart, and Barry J. Northern. You can learn more about the world of Camp Myth at our website, castofwonders.org. Our weekly episodes are released under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives license. Please share it, but please don't change it or sell it. The Camp Myth theme music, August, is by Alexi Nov from musicalley.com. Thanks for listening.